Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and another attempt at a 1080p resolution video. Hopefully it does work out a little bit better. No, I am adjusting my volume settings and my video settings all at the same time. Hopefully things will start to work out a little bit better. And know that I'm getting additional hard drives and I may need to get a new video card as well. Apparently running dual monitors while running the screen capture software on another monitor does create a pretty big load on my PC. Anyways, this is game 1 in what I expect to be a best of 3 series. Grubby spawning as the green Protoss player here at the 9 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Unix spawning as the yellow Terran player here at the 6 o'clock position. Now, if you guys were wondering what is currently on my channel or what was on my channel, Lag TV I did submit a replay to them for when cheese fails. Lag TV, another shoutcaster and just another really funny duo, a very different style than my own, a lot more entertainment value. Mine's more of an analytical style. And if you guys haven't checked it out, I did do a game for them, or I played a game, and it was so interesting, I guess I'll use the words, that I decided to give them the replay. Now we have the SCV now scouting in the clockwise direction. We'll be scouting across the map. Meanwhile, we have Grubby deciding to use the high ground road in order to scout over here first, and then we'll be coming across into the space, pretty much seeing nothing at all. Grubby is opening up with a pretty standard gateway and assimilator. Meanwhile, we have a barracks and refinery as well, so pretty standard play coming in from both players, and nothing too out of the ordinary. This is going to be a far walking spawn between these two bases, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had some pretty fast expansions. Probably sometime around the 6-minute mark is the pretty standard opening coming in from these players, as a Marine now will be able to train up, head over here in just a moment, and then be able to intercept that one probe before that probe really gets any scouting information. A lot of people are asking me, why do some players decide to put the probe on the low, or the Marine on the low ground? The reason behind that is the longer you have to shoot down that probe, the better it is for you. So if that Marine is on the low ground, he can actually shoot down the probe well before the probe gets inside your base and gets as much scouting information. So sometimes you'll see the Marines sit right here and then try to do a stutter step and try to intercept that probe. The probe is going to take some damage, but I think he should be able to turn around in time. But Grubby essentially is playing in the dark. Meanwhile, back over here, Unix still wandering around, and if Unix is very smart, Unix is looking for no, he will not be looking for this additional pylon here. You can take a look, there is already 2 pylons, so Grubby, he could just be sitting on a lot of minerals according to Unix, and Unix may think that he's trying to do an expansion attempt. We can see a Stalker now being chrono boosted out, and as soon as that Stalker is out, that SCV doesn't stand a chance. Meanwhile, back here, we are getting a Marauder with a concussive shell. Unix will be able to fend off some early aggression if that Marine, if the Zealot and the Stalker try to move out. Not a very, very safe play by any means, especially when you're trying to charge up a Terran ramp. We are going into an additional gateway here and an additional gateway here, so Grubby not doing a 4-gate all-in, but doing a 4-gate push. So a 4-gate push here on Metalopolis. The proxy pylon is already set up here. We'll be able to warp in units pretty quickly. You can see the chrono boost on that cybernetics core, and oh, I remember the days when the warp gate research only took like 60 seconds. 4 gates were a really, really big pain. Now you can see more units are continuing to walk out over here, and now 2 additional gateways will be coming online, and it's going to be a 3-gate push, not a 4-gate push. And oh, the probe of Grubby may accidentally reveal his hand as he's trying to run away now, and oh, there's that pylon, and Grubby, most likely, he should be trying to cancel that pylon. Yeah, he is going to cancel that pylon there, but there is already a bunker up on that high ground, a bunker with double Marauders inside, with concussive shell. Very, very difficult to break through trying to get up that ramp. Zealots take a minimal amount of damage, but the problem with that is as the Zealots get slowed, it also slows the Stalkers behind them, and they can't get any damage onto that ramp. More Stalkers and Sentries also being added into this army, but I do not think Grubby is going to be very successful. Sentries do not deal that much damage, and also the Guardian Shields only protect from 10 down to 8, and the Marauders attack fairly slowly. So we'll see what's going to be happening here as a Marine now may get picked off. No, down to 25 hit points, and the Stalker may try to charge up that ramp, and oh, taking 2 rounds from those concussive shells and a second bunker in place. That's going to be very difficult to try to break. No hallucinations. I've also seen a couple of times when Protoss players research hallucination in order to gain sight up onto that high ground. That would have been a very effective tactic, as he would have been able to at least see what he's going up against and decide whether or not he wants to try to push at that time. You can see the Nexus already in play by Grubby. Orbital Command now just training up SCVs, will be making its way over in just a moment, as we now have a push up that ramp. But Zealot now taking a load of damage and now being forced to pull away, and now that one Stalker taking also a lot more damage as well. But because of that Guardian Shield, I think it protected it at least around 10 to 15 points of damage. You can see also double medevacs being trained here. So double medevacs by Unix will have a very mobile army in just a moment. No reactor on the barracks yet, just training up the barracks and training the Marines the old-fashioned way. No reactor, no tech lab, as more units are continuing to move around the map. I'm curious as to what exactly Unix is trying to do at this time. If Grubby actually pushed up at that moment, he would be able to get a lot of damage, but no, he knows that he doesn't have to really worry about that because there was a force field on the ramp, and now he's going to go for a drop. So Unix now being the aggressor in this instance, as the observer now coming in as well. The observer pretty much sees everything, and now SCVs coming over here. What exactly is happening? He can see that there is an observer up on that high ground, so he wants to bring over the SCVs and perhaps try to repair it, as the drop now coming into the main base. Marauders and Marines with Stimpack now getting a lot of damage now, perhaps going to try to snipe down that Nexus. One Stalker getting concussively slowed, or progressively slowed at this time, as the sentries now try to walk up that ramp. There's those force fields, trapping one Marine, but not really dealing that much damage, and now, getting one Colossus off right before that robotics bay went down. Very important, and now the medevacs are in full retreat. You can see that the bunkers are currently being salvaged now, as the Marines and Marauders know that with medevac support, they don't have to worry all too much about any units trying to push up that ramp. And Marines and Marauders now establishing the low ground expansion location, as a Colossus was currently supplied. Oh no, the pylon was taken down, so that Colossus unable to warp in just because, or not unable to be trained because the pylon was taken down. Now chrono boosting that out, and now Grubby has a very small window to try to get off an attack while he has a Colossus. Luckily for him, the robotics bay doesn't take as long as a Colossus takes to build, so he will be able to train up a Colossus and then get another robotics bay right behind it, as long as he doesn't continue to chrono boost that robotics facility. Now, Marines and Marauders are on the move. There are a decent number of medevacs now, and the medevacs are going to move out to the north side of the map. A combat shield now being researched as well, so 0-0 upgrades as the units are on the move. Stalkers on the high ground, and that one pylon is just going to get destroyed very easily, in addition to a Stalker. So the medevacs now offering that site up onto the high ground. And are we going to get some force fields? This is going to be a problem now, as the medevacs, and there's the force fields now preventing a lot of those units from being able to engage, but the Colossi do not have the extended thermal lance range. So without that lance range, it's going to be very difficult for that Colossus to get that much damage, and the Marines and Marauders now perhaps trying to go after those units, but the Zealots, even without charge, able to get some damage there. And the important part was the Colossus was able to get some damage, even though it was unable to destroy that many Marines and Marauders. The medevacs know that they cannot keep up with healing that much damage unless he has Vikings to offer support onto those Colossi. Oh, sorry. As a counter to those Colossi. Extended thermal lance range being researched for those Colossi now. You can see Unix now trying to establish more barracks and trying to get a stronger just macro presence into this game. And SCV now also walking in over here and now starting to build at the natural expansion. The pylon doesn't see anything at this time, but as soon as the SCVs start to mine, both the pylon will be revealed, and now the units are deciding to back off. Army-wise, 2,400 versus 2,150, but a stronger gas army by Grubby. Down goes one Marauder there, and the Stalker now trying to reestablish sight onto that very critical Zelnaga watchtower. Extended thermal lance range needing an additional about 50 seconds to go, and then as soon as he gets the one medevac almost getting shot down there. More Stalkers now coming over. The Stalkers not unable to get that much damage in, as the Stalkers now continue to just damage, and now this one very, very low hit point medevac desperately trying to run away. Stalkers do move significant or slightly quicker than those medevacs, but the medevac with the ability to just traverse terrain, not really having to worry about much. The medevac now now back over here and now being forced to fly away into the corner. You can see Vikings are in the air. I believe 5, perhaps even 6 of them in just a moment. So 5, 6 Vikings trying to snipe down any of those Colossi. We are also getting the Zealot charge upgrade, but no weapons upgrade for those Marines yet, and that's going to be an issue. And the Marines and the Marauders are going to have a very difficult time trying to get a lot of damage onto those Stalkers, Sentries, and Zealots, especially if that Guardian Shield is up. So Grubby now just looking across the map, and we'll see who has the larger army. Terran definitely does have the larger army at this stage, but it is only very, very slightly. Army supplies 70 versus 82. Worker supply 57 compared to 50, so the income should be helping Grubby out just a little bit if there are not that many mules in play. Marines and Marauders once again on the move, quickly taking down one of those Stalkers, and now probes being transferred. We also see a medevac coming in. Is the medevac going to be able to get some damage? I believe so. No, there is one Stalker right there, and now that medevac may try to drop along this side over here. Probes are being transferred already, as the Vikings are looking for their target. Scanner sweep revealing pretty much what's already needs to be shown, as the Vikings now going after that target there, and one Colossus already down, and now the Guardian Shield finally up, but the Vikings continuing to battle it out. That's going to be a very difficult battle, as Unix doing a great job cleaning up many of those units, and now already into ground mode on those Vikings. And I think Unix is going to take this game, getting that first initial blast off. Zealots are over here as well, trying to cleaning up that one particular drop, but still the Vikings in ground mode. The Marines and Marauders helping out tremendously. Not enough Colossi to deal with this presence and this attack. Now Sentries and Stalkers fighting from behind the mineral lines doesn't really work, and I believe Grubby will be saying GG in just a moment. But Grubby is known to try to just fight until the last moment, and there you go. Now getting a Dark Templar as his last-ditch effort, and I do not know if that one Dark Templar will be able to stop this entire army, as more Zealots now being warped in as well. No gas mining here, so that is going to be the issue. As where is that Dark Templar? No, a Colossus now coming in as well. A Colossus now trying to back off, and now one Dark Templar just hiding out over there, not doing much of anything at all. Dark Templars running into the natural expansion here. No upgrades on the Dark Templar so far, but the Dark Templar just getting a lot of damage, trying to get as many SCV kills as possible, make it into the double-digit kills. Double-digit kills there, as the probes now being transferred back to the natural expansion here. Marines and Marauders are getting healed back up. Not that much energy on those medevacs, as the Vikings are looking for a new target. The Dark Templar does have already up to 10 kills, and it's now trying to deal some damage onto an orbital command, which should just be lifting off in mere moments. The Vikings still looking around, as a missile turret and a scanner sweep wasted. Double engineering bay now for additional research. Army-wise, things are still looking very good for Unix. Unix just has a couple more minutes where he is going to be playing in the dark, not able to see any of those Dark Templars. But as soon as he establishes and gets this orbital command within safe ground, a combination of scanner sweeps and eventually Ravens should help him out. Still no tech lab on a starport yet. He is just going to go using orbital commands to try to scanner sweep and reveal. He does have 3 scanner sweeps between the 3 orbital commands now, doing a quick scanner sweep, shooting down that observer there. And now still some long distance mining happening going on. We have the Zealots, we have those Colossi, no weapons upgrade, and it is going to be a 7,000 resource army versus a 3,000. That is not going to be a very even fight at all. Zealots now once again trying to charge in, scanner sweep, revealing absolutely nothing. No Dark Templars to be seen, as the Vikings are able to shoot down those Colossi, and there's the GG by Grubby. So Grubby losing game 1 in this series between Grubby and Unix here on Metalopolis. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.